In this tutorial, we will use everything we have learned about the economy engine and put it into a game. To start off, we need to create the core components in your scene. Go to Tools, Economy Engine, Setup window. In the Currency section, you will see the currency we made in the last video. Add all components. To change the inventory toggle button, go to the scene hierarchy and open up the user interface game object. Open the UI inventory game object. Go to the inventory button and scroll down to the inventory UI toggle component. Here you can change the toggle button. When you have the economy manager in your scene, you can click it and change the currencies in the inspector as well. When all of the components are in place, we can start adding more content to our scene. First, we will add the character controller. To find the top-down controller, go to the assets folder in our project hierarchy. Proto Tools, Economy Engine, Runtime, Resources, 2D, Characters, Top-down Player Controller. Or just type in Top-down Player Controller. Drag it into the scene hierarchy. We need to add the currency UI to display the player's current amount. To find the currency UI prefab, go to Proto Tools, Economy Engine, Runtime, User Interface, Prefabs. Drag the currency UI prefab into the user interface game object. Move the element to a position you prefer. When inspecting the currency UI, go to the currency UI component and select your currency. To add different interactions to our game, we can go to Tools, Economy Engine, Creator Hub, 2D. Let's stock the window in the editor for easier access. The Creator Hub lets you create different interactables for the economy engine. Here we can use a lot of the data we created in the previous video. Let's start with the shopkeeper. We will give it a name, the shop data, and a sprite. The shop UI field is what we created in the setup window. Once we press create, you can see that the shopkeeper is created in the scene. Next, we will create a trader. Enter the trader's name, trade table, pick the sprite you prefer. Press create when you're done. In the Creator Hub, we can also create a sign. The signs are also interactable and creates a dialog window that displays text. The sign needs a name, a dialog message, and be connected to the UI dialog game object. After it's created, you might need to move the position of the sign. Next up is the chest. The chest also needs a name and a loot table. Create the chest. Let's test that everything works. You can use the WASD keys or the arrow keys to move around. If you walk up to the shopkeeper, a little talking bubble appears. That means we can interact with the shopkeeper. Press E to interact. Inside the shop UI, you can see the different items the shopkeeper will sell and buy. When you interact with the trader, the UI trade game object should activate and you can trade items. When interacting with the sign, the dialog window appears and displays the sign's message. When interacting with the chest, items might drop depending on your luck. We will also go through the same process for the 3D version. To start, create a new 3D scene. We will use the basic 3D scene. Save it and name it to something relevant. To set up our scene so we can walk around and use it as a level, we need to create a basic foundation. Let's create a plane as our base. Right-click in the scene hierarchy and choose 3D Object, Plane. Next, we want to create our controller. Go to Proto Tools, Economy Engine, Runtime, Resources, 3D, Characters. Drag the third-person controller into the scene. Since the controller already has a camera, we can delete the default camera in the scene. To change the mouse sensitivity settings for the controller, press the third-person controller. In the inspector, scroll down to the third-person controller Camera Orbit 3D component. Change the sensitivity if you would like. I will change mine to 0.5. After we have the controller ready, we need to add the core components to the scene. Go to Tools, Economy Engine, Setup window. Add all of the components. We also want to add the currency UI. Go to Proto Tools, Economy Engine, Runtime, User Interface, Prefabs. Drag the currency UI prefab into the user interface game object in the scene. Move it into a good position and change the color so it's easier to see. In the inspector, scroll down to the currency UI component and select the currency you want to display. Next, let's create the interactables. Go to Tools, Economy Engine, Creator Hub, 3D. Dock the window in the editor. First, we will create a shopkeeper. Add a name and shop data. Press Create when you're done. You should now see the shopkeeper in the scene view. Reset the transform and put it where you would like. Next, we will create the trader. Add the name and the trade table. Press Create when you're done. Now you can see the trader in the scene. Reset the transform and move it into place. Next is design. Give it a message. Create it when you're done and move it into place in the scene view. Last is the chest. Give it a name and a loot table. Hit create and move it. Finally, we can see how it all works in game. Let's play it and check it out. To interact, press E. To unlock the cursor, press the Y key. To open the inventory, press F10. That was all for the Economy Engine tutorial. Thank you for watching.